There's now a way to contact the Wolf Connection podcast. Send us an email to podcast@wolfconnection.org with your comments, questions, and guest ideas for Stephen and myself. You may hear your question answered on an upcoming podcast. Thank you for your support, and howls to you all. Welcome to the Wolf Connection podcast. I'm your host, John Calvin. Let's talk about some wolves. We have our second international guest with Stephen and myself. He is a PhD and a business manager of ARCA, and he's coming to us from Spain. He is Vicente Palacios. Vicente, thank you so much for joining us at night, your time. You said it was dinner time right before we started. But please give everyone.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I thank Barbara Marty for pointing us in your direction. So just give everyone an idea of where you're located in Spain and how you got involved with working with wolves.
Okay, now I'm living in a province in the northwest of Spain called Zamora. It's a hunting reserve, the Sierra de la Culebra hunting reserve, and it's a place with high wolf densities and a lot of wildlife such as red deer and roe deer. And so that's why people come to hunt here. It's a hunting reserve. Here in Spain is a place where people come to hunt deer and pay a lot of money for this. And there are a lot of wolves here as well. And the most interesting thing is that here there is a lot of wolf tourism. There's a lot of people that come here to try to see wild wolves. There's only there are only two places in Spain where people go to try to see wild wolves, here and in Asturias. And so here the attitudes of people living in the villages is quite positive compared to other places. And well, I began to work with wolves in 1998. So I think there's a lot of 23 years, and I am a biologist. And I began with wolves because when I was a kid, there was here in Spain some documentaries about wildlife. And so do you know this David Attenborough
yeah, of course.
Documentaries? But here in Spain, we had other guy that he made a very famous documentaries in Spain. And the name was Félix Rodríguez de la Fuente, and the documentaries were named El Hombre y la Tierra, The Man and Earth. So there were a lot of images about wolves, and I think all the children from the 70s, we like and we love wolves because of those documentaries. In those years, there was only one TV channel in Spain, or one TV channel, and so everyone saw these documentaries. So there was no option to change the channel. And there were a lot of images of not wild wolves. They were captive wolves, but the images were really fantastic. You didn't realize that they were not wild animals. So it is like these old documentaries were made. And I think that I love wolves because of these documentaries that I saw when I was a kid.
You brought up this hunting preserve, and it brings up a few questions for me. Do people hunt wolves there?
Well, maybe this is the worst time to carry out an interview dealing with the Spanish situation, because there was a change in September political change in the status of wolf, and everything has changed now. There is a chaotic situation here legally, because now the wolf is not allowed to be hunted. But before September, it was allowed. So it is I don't know how it is going to. The things are going to now, because there's a lot of confusion among people, rural citizens, among the managers, and so here, just before September, people came to hunt wolves. There was a quota, and they kill, I think, 10 wolves. This is there are 8 to 10 packs of wolves here, and okay, it now people don't like this kind of management. To me, I don't like to hunt wolves. From a biological point of view, I think that there always has been here a high wolf density. So, and a lot of wolf packs. But of course, the mind of people is changing, and now the hunting is not well seen by people, but especially people from the cities, and so that's why society is changing. And now it is not allowed to hunt wolves here in Spain.
In Spain, do they consider the practice of hunting on these preserves to be lethal management of populations, or do they consider it strictly sport opportunity, or both?
I think now it's not allowed. So this is not the situation, the current situation. But
even of red deer and all the other species on that preserve.
The managers thought that to kill some animals could keep to maintain a population in not very high numbers. This I don't think it's true, but I think that they hunted wolves because they thought that hunting some animals, the damages and the population won't become too high. So this is questionable. This is in
exactly. In Spain, does hunting take place elsewhere besides on these preserves? Is there the equivalent of what we have here? We call it public land here, Bureau of Land Management. Is that the only place where hunting occurs, is on preserves in Spain?
I think that hunting is allowed in everywhere. If you want to know something about the management of wolves here in Spain, just before September, okay, now everything has changed. No?
Sure, yeah.
But here in Spain, the wolf management is a task from the regional governments. Okay, so each region has a unique management. It is not a good thing, but
I see.
And here I live in Castilla-León. Castilla-León is a very big region. Maybe there are here almost 180 packs of wolves. So it's a lot of wolves. Yeah. And yes, and there's a river, and north of this river, it was allowed to hunt wolves, just as a game species, with a quota every year. And south of this river, the wolf was protected. It was not allowed to hunt. Okay, this is because the law before the 70s in Spain, the wolf was considered a pest. Before the 70s, the 1970s. It's considered a pest, and the government paid if you kill a wolf. After that, they decided to protect the northwestern population of Iberian wolves. It was north of this river. And in this area, the wolf changed from pest to game species. It was allowed to hunt, but with control. And south of this river, the wolf was strictly protected in Spain because there were a few wolves here. And, Castilla León. Another region, it would be nice if you had a map of Spain so you can realize. Yeah. Yes, because. So.
Okay. Now from Madrid, if I start at Madrid as my center point, starting from there, where do I look?
Yes, northwestern of Madrid, there are several provinces. There is Ávila, Segovia, Salamanca, Zamora.
I see Salamanca, yes.
Yes, Zamora is north of Salamanca.
Okay. Yeah.
So I live in a village of Zamora.
I see it.
And all of these provinces are from Castilla y León. Zamora, León, Palencia. It's a very huge region with a lot of wolves.
Wow. Looks beautiful.
Yes. So, and we have Portugal. It's west of Zamora. It's another country, Portugal.
Okay, I'm finally getting to it also.
Yeah, I see it here.
There we go.
Wow. So, and I was reading, I mean, this brings me to my next question. With all these wolves in the area, I read that you, well, actually, sorry, you were saying in the beginning something about wolf tourism, I think. So describe us what the wolf tourism in Spain looks like. What's the draw? What's the main area people are going to? Where do people come from? And what could you expect if you came to Spain to see wolves? And I mean, have you been, you went to Yellowstone, correct? To do the,
yes,
for that
yes,
part of the part.
right.
How does the culture of wolf tourism sort of compare to the main center of wolf tourism, which is Montana here?
Okay, so may I be honest?
Yeah, absolutely. Be 100% honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it is not very easy to watch wild wolves.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But it is very easy in Lamar Valley in Yellowstone.
Absolutely.
Yes. So here it's very difficult. But if you come, maybe if you try 3 or 4 days, so you can see a wolf, because here the landscape is not very it's very soft. The hills are very soft, and you have a lot of a huge vision. I don't know the word in English. You can see a lot of landscape.
Yeah.
So with a telescope, you can see several kilometers of land with bushes, and you can see every animal moving around. So it is easy if you compare to other places from Spain, and very much difficult than in Yellowstone. But I think that here in Spain we have different aspects that make the wolf tourism attractive for people. Is the cultural thing, because we have there have been always wolves living here, and you can see these very big livestock guardian dogs, mastiffs.
They're enormous. Yeah, the big
dog.
It's a big dog.
With the sheep, and also you can see different buildings that were made to protect the sheep from wolves. You can also see different traps made as I don't know if you know, these are very huge walls that people made several centuries ago, and these walls Have you ever hear something about these walls?
No.
So it's
Not particularly, no.
yes. You can Google this Fosho or trampa, FOXO or FOJO. So people build a wall like I don't know. It's this like a triangle, and at the end there was a circle, maybe 10 or 15 meters of diameter, and 2 or 3 meters. It was a trap, and inside this thing, they put a goat, a living goat or a sheep, and wolves came and they jumped to kill the goat, and they could not go out because yes, it you know.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's a very basic. I mean, it's a hole in the ground with rock built up around it that I imagine you're not
And
getting out of there.
Several of these structures are several kilometers, of wall.
Wow. Do people still build them, or these are all?
No.
Wow.
It was 2 or 3 centuries ago. But there is a very huge cultural legacy, and so it's very interesting because wolves never became extinct here in this area.
Wow.
So people have always lived with wolves.
Incredible.
Of course, they sometimes kill them, but
Sure.
they coexisted with wolves.
I see. So there is a little bit of a difference because there is this. You can actually see the historical evidence of the history of wolves and humans living together, which is definitely different, I think, than North America, obviously, because they were extirpated so quickly. But
so these cultural things, you don't find these cultural things in Yellowstone.
Why do you think Vicente? Yeah. No. Why do you think the culture in Spain was able to support the coexistence for so long, and why do you think it shifted to a point where people are willing to live with them even more so than they did even 30 or 40 years ago?
Okay, the first question was why do I think that they coexisted with wolves?
yeah, why was it possible there? Because it wasn't here for
why was it
many
possible?
years.
Yes, to be honest, I think that they did not kill all the wolves because they couldn't.
Sure, I was thinking that. Yeah, that could be the basics of it, right?
So that's
fair.
The wolves always have been living in the highest mountains, with no roads, so it was very difficult. And of course the weather. I think the weather, the vegetation is a lot of fog and clouds, and a lot of dense, thick bushes in several areas. It was really inaccessible to people, and that's why the wolves always had some shelter. Is this so? And so they use these dogs, these big dogs, and so they didn't need to kill a wolf. Even now, I've interviewed a lot of shepherds, a lot with a lot of shepherds with livestock guardian dogs, and even nowadays they have a lot of livestock guardian dogs, and they don't need to kill wolves because the wolves don't kill a sheep. So that's the point. So,
okay.
Yes, but unfortunately, these things are changing a little bit, because now the sheep farms are decreasing and cattle farms are increasing, because cattle is more easy and it's economically it's more good for people. But cattle, the management of cattle is not as good as the sheep with livestock guardian dogs, and probably the number of calves killed by wolves are a problem and will be a problem in the future.
Right.
Because cattle, if you have 100 heads of cattle, and these animals are living in 700 or 1,000 hectares.
Yeah, they're very dispersed.
They are dispersed. And if you want to get money, so the animals feed on the grass. They are free ranging animals. And for wolves, it's more easy to kill a calf. And yes, but okay, I want to be optimistic, so that's yeah. No, even cattle owners, they living here in this area, they think that wolves have to exist, but they say, well, if they kill 1 or 2 calves, no problem. If they kill more, then maybe it's a problem. So,
do you feel the overwhelming feeling with the ranchers and shepherds that you've interviewed, feel that, as you just stated, wolves in Spain should exist on the landscape as they are?
Okay, but this attitude is only in areas where the wolves have always existed. The problem is that now the wolf population is expanding. And in these new areas of recolonization, the people don't like wolves. Well, people here don't like wolves as well, but they think that the wolves are part of the environment. But in areas of recent colonization of wolves, the problem and the conflict is higher. There's a higher level of conflict, and this is a problem, of course.
When you've studied Iberian wolves, what did you find is the main difference between them and the wolves that you saw in Yellowstone, both biologically and behaviorally?
To be honest, to me, the wolves are the same. But of course, Iberian wolves are smaller. Male is around 35, 45 kilos. I don't know if in pounds, but North American wolves are bigger than here.
So that's just under 80 pounds about.
Yes, and ecologically they are wolves, and of course the problem here is that they kill livestock.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Yes, we have areas here with a lot of wild prey, like the place where I live. There's a high density of red deer, roe deer, wild boar, and wolves can live without killing a lot of livestock.
Mm.
And the livestock is with livestock guardian dogs is well protected. But there are other areas where the wild prey densities are very low, and they almost kill livestock. So this is a big problem. The difference from the management point of view, as I see the difference between here and between Yellowstone,
mm-hmm.
is that if you come to Spain, you can see that we don't have these huge wilderness areas. So here in Spain, we have people, livestock living everywhere.
Right.
So in North America, it's very common the zoning. Yellowstone, the wolf is protected. After just outside Yellowstone, there is a buffer. There is a number of wolves allowed, and after this buffer, there are no wolves allowed. Something more or less. This is the zoning management. We cannot do this here in Spain because we have people, we have livestock everywhere. So we don't have hundreds of square kilometers with only wild prey. And so it's more difficult here to make a balance.
Is there a certain amount of wolves that has been decided that Spain can sustain, or are they just allowed to expand indefinitely?
Well, this is I think this is the most important question in wolf management. So if there is which is the number, no?
Right?
But I don't believe in this number because we have the carrying capacity of the environment is the number of wolves that can ecologically live in an area. Yes, yeah. If you have the numbers of wild prey or something like this. But there is I don't know ahora the exact name in English. The human capacity. One is the ecological carrying capacity, and the other one is there's a name in English. It's like how many animals the people are comfortable with these animals.
Right. Yes.
And these numbers, at least here in Spain, we have very different situations. We have areas with ecological carrying capacity low, but the human carrying capacity is very high because wolves live because they eat garbage, carcasses, carrion, and they don't kill livestock. So ecologically, if you think, there is no place for wolves here, but there are a lot of packs living here without making livestock damages. We have the opposite. Areas with a very high ecological carrying capacity, but the few farmers that live there, they have sheep without protection. These are the new colonization areas. And one wolf can make a lot of livestock damages. So you have a very low human tolerance. And sometimes the wolf managements don't reflect the reality. When I talk with my friends, I always say that the number of wolves that can live in an area is the number of wolves that live. If there are 3 packs, it's because people allow these 3 packs to live.
Right.
Independently of the wolf management plan.
Exactly.
You can have a lethal control management plan, but
right.
if people don't like or don't want to kill wolves or don't need to kill wolves, they are not going to kill them.
Right. So the right amount of wolves is the amount of wolves that can be tolerated without too much conflict, essentially.
Yes. That is the point. Like there are you can see if you follow a pack of wolves, and in Galicia is the northwestern part of Spain, and there's a very beautiful place with in the coast of the ocean. We have wolves. We have horses. The wolves kill horses. Yes. There's very interesting relationship between horses and wolves.
Regularly, that happens. That happens regularly.
Yes,
horses,
yes. Yeah, I think that yes, there are a lot of packs that feed almost exclusively on horses. They are not very big, but
okay, small breed.
But they always they almost always prey on foals.
Yep, foals. Yeah.
Yes, but they can also. We made a study coloring some wolves, and we could check how the wolves can kill a mare or a very big horse. And yes, and there is one pack of wolves that you can see 1 year. This pack of wolves is not very. There are not a lot of wolves in this pack. So the next year they breed, and there are more wolves, and you can see how the number of foals is decreased. So, and if 1 year there are no one foal alive, just after the breeding season, the next year the wolves disappear. The wolves disappear because people kill them.
Yes. Yeah.
By poaching them, it's not a legal control. So this is the tolerance. They kill them. Okay, the pack disappears. The next year there will be one pair of wolves, and in 2 or 3 years, so this is the
It's the cycle.
Yes, it's a cycle. So that's why if wolves kill a lot of livestock, people kill wolves.
They get killed.
Legal or illegal. So this, I think, at least in Europe, this is what happens.
Does law enforcement actively pursue poachers, or is that a crime that's not usually punished?
Well, it should be punished, but I think that to be honest, I think that the managers don't want to deal with this.
Sure.
Because if the managers are very hard with poachers, if there is a very high level of livestock damages, so they go with the kill horse or to the office, and they make so the conflict is very high. So as there are as the number of wolves is relatively high, we have a very good population. I think that managers don't worry about these levels of poaching. If we had only 2 or 3 packs of wolves, of course, it would be completely different.
Right, yeah. I think I saw the population is roughly around the 2,500 or 2,700 mark. What are some of the coexistence, not the coexistence, the livestock depredation tools that you are trying to help ranchers or farmers use as non-lethal methods? Because I know you told us you have a wildlife consulting company also.
So, well, I have to say that my new job began 1 month ago. So I
Congratulations.
Yes, it's not. I want to work with cattle owners because of the problem with cattle.
Right.
And I would like to test just a couple of tools that I think that are the most important, that are to group the herd during the night, and to keep the calves protected in a fence. So these are the 2 main tools. Of course, if they have dogs, livestock guardian dogs, I think that they are very useful even with cattle, because I believe in the power of livestock guardian dogs. I love them, yes, and I want main aim of my new job is not working with livestock guardian dogs. I want to explore other methods. Yes, the livestock guardian dogs. There are several problems related to the livestock guardian dogs. One dealing with tourists, people. The other one now is.
You mean because they're aggressive, or they need to be to some degree, I assume, to protect the herd? Is that what you mean in terms of tourists?
The livestock guardian dogs with tourists.
Is that the problem, that they can be aggressive or protective?
Yes.
Yeah.
They should not be, but and people, if people knows how to deal with livestock guardian dogs, then there's no problem. But sometimes people that is running or walking are afraid of livestock guardian dogs, and it can be a problem. But I think that is one of the best methods to protect the livestock. Is the if you see with sheep, everything is more easy than with cattle. But I remember I interviewed a shepherd that during summer he went with 1,500 sheep to an area 20 kilometers away from here, and during summer he comes with this sheep and 15 to 20 dogs. You know, he has never seen a wolf.
Wow.
Yes. If you have dogs and the dogs are very good, you don't have problems with wolves. But they cost money,
Right.
dogs, to feed these dogs. So every method, every tool has advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, compromise.
And what we want from as we are we live in the 21st century. I don't want farmers living as they lived in the 19th century. So because sometimes people from cities say, no, you need to protect the livestock. You need to stay with them. You need to stay during the snow. And well, no, I want farmers to live as in a comfortable way.
Right.
And we have the tools, and we need to explore how they can protect the livestock in a comfortable way.
Yeah. We've talked to a few people actually that have similar approaches. We talked to someone who was saying the same things as you about cattle herding up, and how that was at least the most sustainable solution, right? Was to teach the cows how to somehow behave more like a tight-knit wild group of ungulates, which potentially would help save a few of them and make predation on them at least a little bit less appealing for wolves. And then, we talked to another gentleman, Kurt Holtzen, who he believes very deeply in dogs as well. And I think,
where is he from?
Kurt, I believe, is from Montana. Let me look it up really quick. But yeah, he was from there.
But he builds his own type of collar that has a light on it. It's a very thick collar, and it has a light. And he says the light blinking, it implies human presence that really has helped them with the dogs, make the dogs more efficient.
Yeah. I am also working in a type of color, but it is in a very preliminary phase. So I want to know if it is possible to detect that an attack is occurring in real time. But so this is
work in progress.
Maybe a new another podcast 5 or 10 years from now.
Oh yeah, if you get that going, we have to have another one. We have to talk about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean Kurt. So Kurt he actually works for a company called Lava Lake Lambs. So they work with sheep, and it's based in Idaho. And so he's deep in that part of the country with wolves, and a lot of his methods have worked, in spades. They've done really, really well. So it's something that, if you keep pushing forward with your methods, Vicente, I think you'll hit a home run and it'll work.
Probably. So if you want to give him my contact.
We should do that. I was thinking that while you were talking, that you guys could, you're working on the same types of things. Might be a good good collaboration somehow. But I'm sure you guys will both be great together.
I think that to share these experiences from people around the world is very useful for managers, for people, for farmers. I remember 3 years ago, I was in a meeting about livestock damages in Portugal. There were a lot of farmers from Portugal and from Spain, and they invited a woman from Canada. So she did a talk. It was really amazing. So everyone thought, "Oh my God, we have no problems with wolves," because this woman, showed us a slide with all the predators that she had. So the bobcats, the lynx, the coyote, the bears, the black bears, a lot of predators. And we only have wolves. So that's, oh my God, this was really, really an open eye for all the farmers. So I think that this is a problem we have to deal with because we have a lot of livestock, and we have livestock in everywhere. When we have wolves and livestock in all the distribution range of the Iberian Wolf. So this is difficult for to understand, because in North America and Europe, at least in Spain, the landscape is very different. So that's the same as I told you about the zoning. The way of managing is different because we have a lot of things all together in everywhere. So even if the wolves don't kill a lot of livestock, maybe you have one farm here with some killing events, and the other one 10 kilometers away, the other one 20, the other one, and we have all the livestock depredation widespread. And it's we have to deal with this, and in some areas the wolf depredation is very high. So we cannot blind our eyes. If the people is upset, so my first thought is, so if they are really upset, maybe they have a reason. So we need to talk with them, and we to explore which are the solutions. But sometimes people from cities say, "Oh, there's no problem. The wolves don't." They say the wolf only kill 1% of livestock. Oh my God, this is not an argument, because I'm going to make a not very, very correct political question, that how many people die from terrorism? It's less than 1% of people. That is a problem. So if your argument is that a wolf only kill 1% of livestock, this is really you are playing with the numbers. But maybe there's an area where people is losing 20 or 30% of the livestock production. So it's a very big problem for these farmers. So,
yeah, and it's an important perspective too, because it illustrates your perspective is what I mean. Where it illustrates compromise and common ground, and that it's important to find solutions to human problems. It seems in America we have this issue where, in the context of wolves, where either a group has no allegiance to human beings and all of their allegiance is to the wolf, and so they want them everywhere in an unlimited capacity, or they want, or another group wants all wolves dead, right? And these are the two poles that are being communicated. But I do think my perspective has always been, and I've gotten a little bit of heat because of it, but my perspective has always been, I care about wolves, but I also care about humans and their challenges. And as a society, we need to address those challenges. Even if folks are being, stubborn or disagreeable, that we also need to address that human challenge, because we are humans and these are our brothers and sisters. And if we have allegiance to a species of animal, then we have to have equal allegiance to humans, because it's, like you said, the right amount of wolves is the amount of wolves that can be tolerated. And that common ground is what kind of yields the tolerance. So we have to have a little bit of balance there.
Here in Spain, we have the two opposite thoughts. People that don't want to touch one wolf and people that want to extinct all the animals. So I think that both of them are wrong. Because as I told you, if there are a lot of livestock damages, people are going to kill the wolves. It doesn't matter if it is legal, protected or not. So what I think is that the best way is to work with the farmers, just to try to give them solutions and to make them that don't need to kill a wolf. So this is the. I don't think that it is necessary to kill a wolf, but I work to convince farmers just to not need to kill them. How? Trying to decrease the livestock damages. This is the way of the line of work. And
it's very admirable. I only have two more questions, John, and then you can take it away. But I know there have always been wolves in Spain, but are all the wolves in Spain native? Meaning, have there been any reintroductions before of more wolves? Never. So what's there now is organic and native, the entire population.
Yes. Now there are some few animals that they are coming from Italy and France, and they are entering Spain from the Pyrenees. Pyrenees is between Spain and France, and maybe in the future, hopefully, there will be Italian wolves breeding with Iberian wolves. But I really don't care.
And that's hopeful because genetic diversity would be meaningful. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And my last question was, when we talked to Barbara, she was talking about the owl-wolf interaction that was had here in I believe it was Yellowstone, right? Or was it Minnesota? She gave us her perspective, but how have you heard that interaction, and how was that for you, and what did you take away from that?
Yeah, I heard this interaction. Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly what's going on, but probably something related with playing or something like this. Maybe the wolf wanted some fun, or I made some research. My PhD is about wolf acoustic communication, and the way a wolf howls. There are two different components. One is a mechanical or physical thing. You have an animal with a head, with pharynx, and with vocal cords, and from this resonator box, so you can emit such a sound with a frequency and something like this. And the other component is voluntary.
I see. So it's a difference between anatomical and voluntary.
The animal is learns
acoustic
or
conscious,
howl
yeah.
in a way that that he feels
Got it.
more comfortable. And in this process, they imitate some sounds. So they can imitate a siren, they can imitate things, and then they howl and they I like this howl. So I think it was. But the most interesting thing is that these are two different species emitting vocalization with a different function. So it's like interspecific, a way of interspecific communication. And this is very interesting from a communication point of view. It's like some animals, and they know that there is a predator, a type of predator, because of the alarm call of other species. So this is called eavesdropping. so this types of interspecific communication are very interesting from a biological point of view.
Wow.
This is fascinating. Vicente, is there a place online that people can view your research and view the things that you're doing?
Well, if you look, or if you search in ResearchGate, I think all my papers are there.
I see them.
Yes.
Yeah, there's actually a few, John. I'll send you the links that I was looking at this morning.
Yes, and well, we created this Iberian Wolf research team that now it's not very active, but we are different researchers from Spain and from Portugal that we have collaborated and we have published papers together, and we decided a few years ago to create a group. Now it's not active, but we are currently doing some research and we are collaborating, and it's a pity because we wanted to build this web page and different projects and to attract and invite people from other places of the world. But okay, not all the projects in this world are successful. And I hope in the future. In fact, I am the president, but I don't do anything. So it's my fault that.
What if you had to give your optimal outlook for wolves and humans in Spain? What would that look like in the future?
First of all, I think that we are coexisting. So sometimes when you ask, or some people is asking, what will you do to coexist? Okay, now we are coexisting. Well, I have seen a wolf at 2:00 p.m. I was walking my dog, and I saw a wolf 1 kilometer away from here. So we are coexisting. No, so I think that people is leaving rural areas. They are going to cities, and this is making the environment better for wolves and other wild animals. But the cattle or other type of livestock is increasing. So I think that in the future we will have a difficult situation because of that. People living in the cities, livestock living in the mountains with wolves, and no protection. So my wish is to continue my work and to work very hard to make farmers' life more comfortable and to make to try to decrease the livestock damages. And we have a lot of technology. We have we have money. Well, not a lot of money, but one century ago, in the early century, 20th century, people lived with a family here in a village, live with 10 or 15 sheep and with 3 or 4 cows. So if the wolves killed one of them, it was a tragedy for the family. So this is not the situation. So we have a lot of livestock, we have a lot of technology. The governments have money to protect the species, and the society is mentalized to protect biodiversity. So we can work all together for not to coexist because we are coexisting, but to make this coexistence more easy.
We obviously thank you very much, sir, for joining us. And I've been fascinated personally by our conversation. And this is our last question. We ask this at the end of every podcast. When you hear the word wolf, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oh, it's, I don't know, but I work 24 hours a day with wolves. I dream with wolves. I research things related with wolves. And when I talk with my friends, I talk about wolves. So wolf is almost everything. So, and I am not very obsessed with wolves, but their life has made that I am now a specialist, because everything I do is related with wolves, in the research, in the wolf. So to me, wolf is everything. But I think I am realistic. Is the word exists, and I understand. I understand the wolf in a very general context, and I see all the different situations, all the farmers, the highways, the wild prey. So I think I have a wide comprehension of the wolf.
Yes, Vicente, I too have been fascinated, intrigued, and just overwhelmed with this conversation. It's great to finally meet you and just continue what you're doing. The work you're doing is fantastic. Thank you so much for joining Stephen and myself.
Thank you. You are really, really great. And I've spent a very nice time talking about wolves with you. So this is the only thing I do during the day, but I enjoy and I love it. And if it's useful for someone in North America that learns something about wolves,
absolutely.
So
it will be. I guarantee it will be. Everyone, please listen to this one. Vicente is an incredible human being. House to all of you out there, and Stephen and I will be with you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Looking to support Wolf Connection or sponsor one of the wolves in our pack? Just go to wolfconnection.org, click on the donate tab, and find out more information.